Hey, my friend, it's Jason here. I want to tell you a little bit about this special holiday episode that you're going to hear today. This one's near and dear to my heart for a few reasons, and I wanted to explain why before we dive in. As you may or may not know, if you're a listener to this show, for many years around this time of year, we published a Norwegian Christmas Spectacular, where we just would do a fun Christmas special and try to give you a peek into what the holidays are like here. And I had this idea to do a special like this way back in 2014. And after doing it for 10 years, we decided to retire it. But it feels wrong to just not give you some kind of Norwegian Christmas Spectacular this year, which is why I thought it would be fun to pull out the very first one we did. And it's really interesting for me to hear this because this is a snapshot in time for me. At the time, my wife and I were married for just 6 months. We didn't have any kids. I hadn't really experienced the holidays in Norway, so I didn't really know much about it. I really hadn't been anywhere outside of the United States for the holidays. And so you can hear my bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kind of, I don't really know what's going on. I'm trying to learn. And this episode was an excuse to learn about some of the traditions from my wife and also share those with you and just put something fun together for you. So this is me and my wife in 2014. Yes, over a decade ago, sharing our holiday traditions with you. Of course, I've come to be very familiar with these traditions and really have come to love and enjoy the holiday season here. And if you like this one and you just want to rock your day out full of Christmas and holiday cheer, we have multiple Christmas spectaculars. After doing this one, we decided to record one every year, and we did 10 of those. So you can go and binge listen to them if you want to have some company while you're making your Christmas cookies or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, please enjoy our first ever Norwegian Christmas Spectacular in full. Thanks for listening, and thanks for being a part of this community. Happy holidays.
We're literally dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
That's true.
Through the fields, snowy fields of Norway. You can hear the horse bells.
Where I grew up.
Oh, just listen to that sound. I absolutely love it. You can hear the creaky wooden sleigh, the handmade Norwegian open sleigh. They hooked us up to this beautiful, magnificent horse. I huddled up with my wife under a blanket, and we went dashing through the snow into the Norwegian forest. It was incredible. We ended up lighting a campfire and all huddling around with family and friends and sipping on some hot spiced cider. It was a magical moment, and magic is what Christmas is all about in the holiday season. I hope you are enjoying it as well. Happy holidays to you, and I'm excited to bring you today's episode, which is a Norwegian Christmas Spectacular. I always find it fascinating to learn about the traditions in other countries around holidays, so I've convinced my wife, Dorthe, to join us today. She is Norwegian. She's got the Viking blood, so I thought it would be great to pick her brain and we can learn all about what it's like to spend Christmas here and to share it with you. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you are. It's an honor and a privilege to share this time with you. Happy holidays, my friend, and welcome to the Zero to Travel podcast.
You're listening to the Zero to Travel podcast, where we explore exciting travel-based work, lifestyle, and business opportunities, helping you to achieve your wildest travel dreams. And now your host, world wanderer and travel junkie, Jason Moore.
Welcome, my friend, to the Norwegian Christmas Spectacular. This is Jason from zerototravel.com, and I've got my wife, Dorthe, with us here today. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great, and I am spending the Christmas and the holiday season here in Norway. there's all these Christmas specials on. And I figured, what the heck? Let's do a Christmas Spectacular. So we're going to talk about the Norwegian Christmas and how the traditions are a little bit different here, and just share with you a little bit about what we're up to. This will be a short episode, and I think it's always cool to learn a little bit more about different cultures and how they do things. So one of the first things I learned pretty recently is that the Norwegian Santa is a very small man who lives in a barn, and that's completely different from it is in the States. Will you tell us about the Norwegian Santa?
Yes, the Norwegian Santa, he's pretty small. He wears like a backpack, a small one, and he's friends with all the animals, all the horses, the sheep and the cows, and all the animals out in the forest. He takes care of them during the year. And in Norway, it's a tradition that on Christmas Eve, you have to put out porridge with cinnamon and butter and sugar on the barn for the Santa to please him, or else he won't come. And the Santa in Norway doesn't come through the chimney. He comes through the door. He knocks on the window, and the kids think he's a little scary, but he's very nice. And he's small. He's probably like around 1 meter or something. He wears a red hat like every Santa's does. But he has like a knitted sweater and wool pants.
I'm still convinced that your dad is actually Santa Claus because he has the belly and the beard. Let's just say that. And he looks quite like Santa Claus. So anyway, he's not a small Santa Claus.
That's true. Maybe he's one of the Santa's helper, I guess.
Yeah, possibly. So we are, just to set the scene, we are in a cabin. We got the fire going. It's nice and cozy. And that's why we thought it might be a good time to record this Christmas Spectacular. Now, you've been across the street with your mom baking quite a lot of different treats. Don't you have some kind of tradition around having a specific amount of desserts or something, which just kind of surprised me?
Yes, it's not desserts, but it's cakes or cookies more. You have to have 7 different ones at least. My mom is making 11, I think, this year.
11 cakes and cookies.
Yeah.
And is that all, like, do we eat it on the 24th, on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, you eat it every day, basically. So being in Norway,
We're growing the wrong way.
That's true. Yeah, so it's like you have coffee and cake at least 1 time a day, and after Christmas Eve, you have it probably 3 times a day or something, and you have this, coffee, and then maybe for dessert, and then you have coffee again. So you will have a lot of cakes, but we make, like in America, you will probably call most of it cookies, but we have made donuts and different kind of cookies, and we have the traditional like spices, I think, like cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, those kind of things. We made gingerbread.
Your mom's always feeding us desserts, and before we went to Nepal, we were getting out of shape, let's say, and Nepal whipped us back into shape, and now we're kind of in between now, and we're excited to bring you some of the audio from Nepal here pretty soon, early in the next year. So we've covered the cakes, and we've covered the Norwegian Santa Claus. When do you celebrate Christmas? Isn't there a sort of a day before the day kind of thing, or how does it all work?
For us, it's not the day before the day, because for us, the 24th is the Christmas.
And isn't there something on the 23rd?
No, that's like the little Christmas Eve. That's a preparation day for most people. You prepare the dinner for the next day.
What is the dinner?
The dinner we have pork belly with sausages and meat cakes and sauerkraut and potatoes. Many people have porridge early Christmas Eve, and then they have the pork later. But we have a soup, like a starter, which is a pork soup.
That's regional.
Yeah, that's very regional. So it's different all over the country. It's different. But the most normal thing to have on Christmas Eve is pork belly or lamb and lutefisk, which it's not an American.
The sound is making me shiver.
It's a special fish, which is
disgusting.
You haven't tried it, so you don't know.
Well, I tried the other fish, and they're fishier.
It's not the same. This is a white fish that they prepare in a special way. So the consistency of it makes it like a jelly kind of. And they serve it with bacon and peas and
Do you like it?
mustard. No, I don't love it. And the smell is pretty disgusting. But everyone says the taste is better than the smell. And then also people have fresh cod.
What else happens in a traditional Norwegian Christmas? You made me a very nice calendar where I'm opening a little note every day for 24 days. It's very nice. And so you have these Christmas calendars where you have a little something every day. Not really necessarily a present, but just a nice little thing. What are some other traditions that I'm forgetting?
Well, yeah, the Christmas calendar, I think it's pretty special for Scandinavian countries, maybe. I grew up with that, like getting like a little thing every day. But you can do it in different ways. Like we have notes with different things we do for each other or just nice notes.
You and me.
Yeah, yeah. For kids, it's normal either to get like a chocolate calendar. They get a little piece of chocolate every day, or they get things. It has kind of gone out of control a little bit. People are spending a lot of money on these calendars. But it's nice you kind of count down to Christmas Eve. I come from a farm, so the farm Christmas maybe is a little bit different than many others. Like, not everyone is baking as much as my mom. My dad is making like meat rolls and different kind of the styles of meat for Christmas.
Is it what kind of meat? Cow?
It's a mix of cow and pork, which is special and very traditional for farms. And he also makes like a cheese thing that is very traditional, local traditional dish. It's a different from family to family, but I grew up with not decorating that much before you come close to Christmas Eve. Many people decorate the first Sunday in December. We have something called Christmas star or adventsstjerne. So that's a nice thing to have up early in December. Also because it's so dark in Norway through December that you need a lot of light. So we do use a lot of lights.
A lot of candles.
Yeah, a lot of candles, but also like extra lights. In my family, we normally decorate the day before Christmas Eve, actually. Then we take in the tree, which we actually went with my dad and found in the forest a couple of weeks ago.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was special. We walked into the woods and took down a few different trees for Christmas. And we were careful to pick ones that
wouldn't like end up being a tree because it's standing too close to other trees or
it wasn't going to make it. So we took ones that wouldn't make it. And yeah, that was really cool. And we just did a one-horse open sleigh ride the other night. And we drank some delicious hot drink there by the campfire after that. I mean, I couldn't believe it's been a pretty magical Christmas so far, I would say, here in Norway. I mean, although it's dark a lot, the snow and the one-horse open sleigh ride, and we're eating all of these cakes and cookies, and it's quite cozy having a farm Christmas here. I wanted to ask you, just to make sure we're not leaving any traditions out, if you want to add any more. And then I wanted to ask you what your favorite Christmas memory is.
I think we've gone through most of the things. Like the drink you talked about when we were horse sledding is called gløgg. I think it's originally Swedish, but it's normal in Norway too. And it's a drink that you warm up and it has different spices.
It's hot and delicious.
Yeah, and you can mix it with red wine, for example.
A very Christmas spiced hot drink. So favorite Christmas memory or just a couple you want to share?
I think the most important thing for me with Christmas is spending time with family and having delicious food. In Norway, it's very traditional with Christmas. You have to have the same kind of dish. It has to be like, at least for me, and I don't know, I know that I'm speaking for a lot of people, that what you had when you were a kid, you want to have it. It's like we have this show on TV, which is probably like, if it was sent in another day during the year, no one would have watched it probably. But it's called like Three Nuts for Cinderella. And it
sounds pornographic.
I know. And it's from the 70s, I think. And it's from Czechia, I think. And it's dubbed. It's one of the few in Norway we don't dub thing. We have the subtitle, but this show is dubbed. So it's like having this like hilarious voices, Norwegian voices over. I think it's around 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve during the day. It's sent and everyone is watching this. It's really like important for people. That's something like everyone have to, or else it won't be Christmas kind of, you know. And for me this year has been nice because I have had the opportunity to be home with my family and actually be able to cook with my mom, bake all these cakes and cookies. And I've learned a lot. And yesterday I helped my dad with these meat dishes, which it's been nice to learn and also had the time to make it with them. Yeah, so I think that's like what's Christmas for me.
Well, I'm excited to spend my first Christmas here in Norway with you and the family, my family. And yeah, it should be great. It's great so far. We've been eating a lot. Like you said, the cakes and everything is so much. But I think, you know, what you were saying, it is about like the traditions you grew up with and those are your memories and whatever bad movies or, you know, meals you had. It's kind of like you crave those at Christmas. I remember hearing a story on the radio where they were talking about why it's so hard for people to make new popular Christmas songs. And basically, long story short, it was because people like what they grew up with. So to have something new didn't fit in with the nostalgia of Christmas, you know? So it's really hard. And if you notice, you listen to the radio, probably the newest Christmas song you hear is the Mariah Carey song, and that's like from the 90s, right? So we love traditions, I think, as human beings in Christmas, and I'm really excited to be here, babe, and spend Christmas with you and everybody else. And wherever you are listening to this, if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking with us. We hope you have a wonderful holiday. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, I hope you have time off to enjoy and move into the new year and enjoy whatever time you have with friends or family or whatever you're doing. And we wish you all the best.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, or God Jul, as we say in Norwegian.
And I think that concludes the Norwegian Christmas Spectacular. You think spectacular, we should have a line of dancing girls kicking their legs up and, you know, a big orchestral band in the background or something. But, you know, we're just in a cabin. We've got what we've got, right? But I think Anna Dorthe is going to leave us with a little Christmas song as she shakes her head. No. Maybe you can hum us a few tunes. We're not saying we know you're not Mariah Carey. In fact, I call you Mariah Scary. But let's hear a little ditty.
It's terrible. I can't sing.
Come on, just a little. Give us a little something.
Okay, this is
Take the mic. I want you to own this.
This is a Norwegian Christmas song for kids.
Play us out with this.
It's called Musevisa, and that means the mouse song.
The mouse song?
Yes. Okay, do you want to like be the choir?
Sure.
Når nettene blir lange og kulda setter inn, da sier vesle musemor til ungeflokken sin. Om ingen går i fella, men passer seg for den, skal alle sammen snart få feire jul igjen. Hei sann og hopp sann og faller aller av, når nettene, nei når.
Well, that's good enough. You got the gist of it, of the mouse song, right?
Normally I sing it with my mouse voice, but Jason hates it.
Let's hear it in your mouse voice. Just one little bar.
No.
Just one little line. All right, and that concludes the Norwegian Christmas special. Have a wonderful day. Smile, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
God jul.
And happy holidays to you, my friend. Have a great day.
Låt det brinna.
This podcast has been brought to you by ZeroToTravel.com. Ideas and advice to make your travel dreams a reality.